Frank. I did not hear your question.
Is my sound not good?
No, you're
It's okay.
Now I can hear you. Yes.
I asked if we unmute ourselves and stay muted when we're not speaking, or if somebody else is controlling.
There's literal construction in our hotel, so I'm going to be muted until I'm speaking.
I'll be muted, but sometimes whoever's in charge could unmute you. God, may I not forget to unmute.
General Session 1, June 18th, 2025. Please welcome UUA co-moderators Charles Dumond and the Reverend Meg Riley. Call to order.
Hello, I'm Charles Dumond, UUA co-moderator with the Reverend Meg Riley, a member of the Unitarian Universalists of San Mateo, California, on the land of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. And I am also a member of the Church of the Larger Fellowship. I use he and him pronouns. I'm an old white male in my mid-60s with a gray beard and gray hair. I'm wearing a black dress shirt, and I'm wearing some bright red reading glasses to add a bit of contrast to all the black and gray.
And I'm Reverend Meg Riley. I'm a member of First Universalist Church in Minneapolis, Minnesota, on the land of the Dakota and the Anishinaabe people. I'm a fat, white, older woman with white hair and blue glasses wearing a navy blue shirt. My pronouns are she, her. Together, we are the co-moderators and chief governance officers of your Unitarian Universalist Association, and we call this 64th General Assembly to order with an imaginary gavel, because a real one would sound really bad online. Today's business agenda includes, in the following order, a welcome from your co-moderators and the UUA president, an introduction to Meet the Moment, a business review and voting process video, presenting the rules of procedure, introduction to youth and young adult leadership, and the GA care teams. which include the Systemic Justice Team, chaplains, the Conflict and Covenant Team, the Accessibility and Inclusion Team, app moderation. Then we'll have closing words, a few announcements, and we will recess.
Welcome to Maryland. Those of you who are actually in Maryland, this is my new home state. And yes, I just told you I'm a member of the congregation in San Mateo, California. It's hard to let go of something that has been your home for 30 years, and yet change is coming. These past years, I have often shared how I'm feeling as I come into this space. I've been a mixture of crispy and irritable and sometimes filled with gratitude. Today, I am like a holiday fruitcake with too many ingredients all mixed together. Anger, grief, outrage, resilience, and yes, also gratitude. And dripped over the top is a thick coating of bittersweet chocolate, as this will be the last GA where Meg and I serve as co-moderators. After all the hard work of all of us board staff and delegates have done with Article 2 revisions over the last few GAs, we think we have a kinder business agenda this year. Only 2 business items to help set the stage for more bylaws work in the coming years. The Commission on Social Witness has been revitalized, and they are beginning the Congregational Study Action Issue process, which means you have a choice to make. There are 3 possible issues. You can read about them online, and we will discuss them in the general session tomorrow. And if Meg and I are leaving, you all need to elect a new moderator or co-moderators. There have been 2 online forums already, and there will be another one tomorrow at the end of the general session.
Besides those business items, we will be inviting this assembly into deep reflection about what it means to put love in the center at this particular time, and who we can be if we harness our collective power to meet the moment we are in together as a nation and world. Because let's face it, it's quite a moment to meet, a moment which has more frightening impact on some of us than it does on others, to be sure. If your major trauma in this time is mental and your anguish is emotional, please create space to respect and offer care to those people who fear for their physical safety daily. People who took a risk flying here or who are online because it would not have been safe to come to Baltimore now. People who are afraid to go to work or to school or to the bathroom. These are hard times, and we need to find all the kindness we have to offer care to one another. Please allow others the space they need to be here in ways that feel good for them. I want to add my bittersweet feeling about this final assembly as co-moderator with Charles. As I look back and reflect on these past decades, what they've been like in the United States and in the UUA, it leaves me amazed with what we have been through together, how much we've done, and how much we've all changed. Thank you for being here as witnesses and companions.
Please wear a mask if you are on site. Masks are required at all GA-sponsored indoor activities that take place within the convention center and require GA registration. This includes areas like the registration concourse and the exhibit hall. Masks may be removed when eating or drinking for smaller or informal gatherings or events not hosted by this General Assembly. Masking practices are determined by the organizers of those specific events.
Our stage this week will feature an empty chair, as we have in the past, to name and honor those leaders who have joined the ancestors this year. We began this tradition when our beloved former moderator, Jim Key, died in 2017. And since that time, we've lost 2 more former moderators, Alandria Williams and Denny Davidoff. There are so many more leaders who have died this year, and I invite you to name them now using the chat spaces where you are to share your love and memory and their name. We will continue to name and feel them among us all week. Thank you.
I'm the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, and it remains my privilege to serve as president of your Unitarian Universalist Association. I am a fat, cisgender, Afro-Latina woman with caramel-colored skin, freckles, and long locks pulled back from my face. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm wearing a red jacket over a black top. I have glasses on today. I'm delighted that we are here together in Baltimore and in virtual space to engage in the business of our liberal and liberating tradition. In times such as these, it is vital that we celebrate, connect, and live out the best of our values together. Before we continue with important information on how best to participate in all that is to come, I want us to pause for a moment in praise and thanksgiving for the labor of our volunteers across our movement, beginning with our fabulous co-moderators that you just heard from. Meg and Charles, you have served as co-moderators for our UUA Board of Trustees since our General Assembly in 2020. It is not lost on me that you began these leadership roles in a time of disarray and fear, and you are now concluding your exemplary service in the midst of yet another call for UUs to lean deeply into our shared values and meet the needs of a hurting nation and a troubled world. Thank you for your tireless service. Thank you for serving in a time when many did not have the capacity to take on something as large as the moderatorship of this faith that we love. Thank you for guiding us beautifully over the past 5 years and during your decades of service to Unitarian Universalism before that. You are each a testament to living our values faithfully in the world. Can you all thank me in joining Meg and Charles, both by extending your spirit in gratitude and by sharing some comments of gratitude and thanksgiving in the chat? Beloveds, your National UUA Board of Trustees works tirelessly on the business of our faith. They hold in sacred trust the work of this assembly between meetings, and they give of themselves so that all of us might thrive. The work is long and often difficult, and we could not be who we are without their dedication. I also want to lift the many types of volunteers who are dedicated to Unitarian Universalism in a wide range of ways. Our national committee members, those who run our professional and identity-centered organizations, all who serve in leadership and on the boards of our related schools and institutions, our donors who serve faithfully as stewards and ambassadors of our living tradition, all those who show up in faithful witness for the work of justice, those who lead our congregations and serve on congregational and community committees, our mentors, teachers, worship facilitators, thought leaders, and more. I am especially grateful to our member congregations who contribute to the APF, our annual program fund, and most especially to those who are honor congregations, meeting their full requested contribution to the UUA by the end of the fiscal year. All of you who give of your resources and your time in service to the values that we hold in common cause, I thank you. Thank you for all that you give and do every day to support our freely chosen association and its values in the world. Your generosity is what makes the missional work of our UUA possible. Can we share some applause where we are and drop words of gratitude and affirmation in the chat for all of our hardworking volunteers? I'm so excited for all that will come during this year's General Assembly. May it be a time of renewal and dedication among us where we recommit ourselves to meeting this moment together.
Meet the Moment introduction.
But there come times, perhaps this is one of them, when we have to take ourselves more seriously or die. Adrienne Rich said this in her poem, "What kind of times are these?" We all know such times in our own lives, times of heartbreak, health crises, upheaval. We also know these times collectively in our families and communities and nations. My parents found Unitarianism before I was born in Texas in the early 1950s. My mother was home with two toddlers, ironing and watching the McCarthy hearings and crying. Despite my parents' loathing of all things religious, they needed community enough to seek out the faith where Adlai Stevenson found a home. Unitarian Universalism was the center of my family's life from then on. My parents moved back to their hometown of Charleston, West Virginia, and got involved with a tiny baby fellowship there. In 1965, when we moved, they sold their house to a Black family, not a popular act in our conservative neighborhood. When I asked my mother later where they found the courage to do that, she said, "From the people at the fellowship. It would have taken more courage not to do it." Giving one another courage to do the hard things is central to my own lifelong commitment to this faith. In times of extreme crisis like the one we're in now, I need Unitarian Universalism. I pray that our values help us to stay centered and act with courage in solidarity with those most at risk. Because by myself, I'm too scared. I need a faith that pushes me and challenges me, people to hold me and sing with me when times are great and when they are tough. Adrienne Rich is with the ancestors. My mother is with the ancestors. I am still here in this, a time when we need to take ourselves more seriously or die. I am wildly grateful that we have great leadership in place in every aspect of Unitarian Universalism across the land and the world to help us stay strong in these frightening times. Thank you to everyone who helps us to have courage and to keep the faith.
Same Unitarian Universalist values that ground us right now have always pushed our people to show up, to risk, to struggle for justice and liberation and radically inclusive communities centered in love. The heart of our faith transcends cultural shifts and political trends. But at key moments throughout the centuries, our religious ancestors have also always been willing to transform themselves and their faith to meet the needs of the moment, to let go of what no longer serves, to open to new possibilities, to seize opportunities and lean into aspiration and innovation. At our best, Unitarian Universalists are both deeply grounded in core values and commitments and nimble enough to respond to the challenges and opportunities that emerge in rapidly changing times. As we begin our time together, we root ourselves in the values that have sustained Unitarian Universalists for over 2 centuries: love, justice, interdependence, and collective care. We gather in a moment of deep uncertainty and global unrest, holding close the sacred responsibility of showing up with integrity, compassion, and accountability. Recent weeks have brought heartbreaking devastation and risk to more people in our nation and the world, including the alarming militarized response to protests challenging the cruelty of our federal policies. In this moment, we affirm our spiritual commitment to justice, but also to discernment and alignment with frontline leadership within and beyond our faith communities. In that spirit, and under the guidance of our executive team, the Side with Love organizing strategy team, and relationships on the ground, we want to be clear that we have not planned or committed to any protests or direct actions this week. No such invitation has been extended to us by frontline partners, and we will not act without their guidance. We remain in close relationship with local UUs and justice organizations here in Baltimore and beyond. Should those partnerships lead to a coordinated invitation to act, we will share that information through official GA communication channels. We know that the work we do here of gathering, convening, and learning and governing, that work is critical in this spiritual and political moment. Let us carry that work forward with courage, clarity, and deep care for one another and for the communities that we serve. So as we navigate rising authoritarianism, climate change, generational transitions, massive changes in the religious landscape, we have to ask ourselves, how will Unitarian Universalism meet this moment? And I mean not just individual people or congregations, but the faith broadly. How can we show up for prophetic witness in a way that builds coalitions and solidarity? In a way that makes it safer for others to act boldly for justice? What do relevant, responsive, courage sustaining worship and religious education look like right now? How can our fundraising and governance practices evolve so we have the resources and the leadership that we need? What would it mean to understand our congregations as a coordinated, interconnected network of physical hubs for moving strategy and sustaining courage and providing community care to our neighbors? It matters that we ask these questions and more and plan our next movements together. We have 1,000 Unitarian Universalist congregations across the United States, each with their own culture and practices and local context. But together, we have 1,000 Unitarian Universalist congregations across the US. Together, if we take ourselves seriously enough to align our energy and share our resources, to learn and experiment and risk together, we can have impacts and influence in this moment far beyond what any of us can do on our own.
I am the Reverend Ashley Horan, and I serve as the UUA's Vice President for Programs and Ministries. I am a white, fat, queer femme with long red hair and a color block shirt. Unitarian Universalism is rooted in what we call congregational polity, the understanding that each congregation has the independent authority to govern itself, ordain its religious leaders, and worship in the ways that make sense for its specific context and members. But congregational polity also calls us to lean into our interdependence, knowing that my congregation cares about the welfare of yours, that we consult one another for wisdom and discernment, that we journey together when the terrain changes and our next moves aren't clear. What does it look like for Unitarian Universalism to meet this moment now interdependently? For the past year, we have been trying on a framework for this kind of discernment and strategizing among our UUA staff and with some close partners. We've been digging into data and analysis, building shared understanding about the realities that are impacting Unitarian Universalism now. Small groups called wave cohorts met this spring to take a deep dive into the needs and the opportunities about specific topics that are top of mind for most of us. And here at GA, we are now inviting you to hear about what we've learned so far and to engage these conversations yourselves. Meet the Moment is our GA theme, but it is also shorthand for a set of shared practices and experiences that UUs can use to make sense of what is happening, to identify the most urgent and important needs within our faith and in the world, and to grow the strategies and the skills that we need to respond. Each morning during this General Assembly, you are invited to join one of the topic-specific Meet the Moment rooms listed in the GA app. There are 2 multi-platform, 5 online, 4 in person. You will hear leaders reflect broadly on the moment that we are in for the faith. You'll get reflections from our WAVE cohorts about the context, needs, and strategies that they have been identifying for their topics. And you'll get the chance to try on the same topic and the WAVE cohort frame in small groups. We encourage you to stick with the same topic for all 3 days. Don't worry, you will be able to access content from all of the rooms through the GA app. There will also be Meet the Moment activities at the UUA booth and a roving hype team of folks collecting stories and photos. After General Assembly, everyone will get access to a suite of videos, materials, resources, and facilitation templates that we hope you will take home and use with your own congregations.
There are so many ways to get involved, and we invite you to join us as we meet this moment together.
And now, here's Governance Manager Stephanie Carey Perrin with information on the business and voting process at this General Assembly.
Business review and voting process. Hi, I'm Stephanie Carey Marin, the UUA's Governance Manager. I'm a white woman in my 40s with short brown curly hair and dark-rimmed glasses. I'm wearing a blue top and I'm sitting in front of a purple background. Thank you for being a delegate at GA 2025. Our fully ballot-based voting system makes participating as a delegate as easy and accessible as possible. Everything you need to participate in the business sessions as a delegate happens through the GA Delegate platform. Once you have your credentials, which are assigned by your congregation or by your role as a religious professional, log on to delegate.uua.org. On the delegate platform, you'll find key links, dates, the final agenda with a text of everything you'll be voting on, and the link to the live Zoom meeting where online delegates can speak during discussions. All official delegate actions happen through the delegate platform. You can access it on any device with an internet connection, like a computer, smartphone, or tablet. Rather than packing everything into a few short days during GA, the business process actually begins months in advance to give delegates enough time to consider and consult with their congregations. Here's a quick summary of what's already happened in preparation for this year's GA. The final business agenda was published on May 19th. It included a cleanup of the bylaws, a business resolution regarding a continued pause on the GA Planning Committee, and the rules of procedure. This is also when the delegate platform opened and when delegates could start formally submitting amendments to these business items. This year, we did not receive any proposed amendments to the business items, so there were no mini assemblies this year. Congregational Study Action Issues, also known as CSAIs, and Actions of Immediate Witness, also known as AIWs, were submitted to the Commission on Social Witness. The final text of all business items was released before GA, including AIWs and CSAIs, to give delegates plenty of time to review. During GA, we conduct business in our general sessions. These are live streamed so anyone can watch on the UUA website. You can also watch on the Whova app if you are registered for regular GA participation. If you're a business-only delegate, however, you can view the public stream on uua.org and participate via the online delegate platform. Almost every day of GA, there will be something to discuss and vote on. You'll have a daily ballot with the items that were discussed that day, which are up for a vote. The ballot will open after the general session ends and will remain open until 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific the following day. Discussions on business items during general sessions is led by our moderation team, otherwise known as the Mod Squad. The Mod Squad is comprised of our UUA co-moderators, other members of the Board of Trustees, and our parliamentarian and legal counsel. Discussions are guided by the rules of procedure, which I encourage everyone to read. They're designed to help us focus our time talking about the issues, not the process, and to ensure everyone has a fair chance to participate. Here's how you can speak as a delegate during the general session discussions. There are two lines of speakers. The pro line is to support the item being discussed, and the con line is to express concerns that would prevent you from supporting the item. You'll be recognized by the person moderating when it's your turn. So please introduce yourself with your name and congregation and a brief visual description for accessibility, just like I did at the beginning of this video. Each agenda item starts with about 2 minutes for delegates to informally talk to each other in the general session hall and through the online chat rooms. This is also the time when delegates who wish to speak should go either to the pro or con lines. Here's how you join one of the speaking lines. If you're online, click the link in the delegate platform to join the live Zoom meeting. Once you're in the Zoom meeting, use the Zoom chat to let the tellers know you want to speak pro or con. When it's your turn, a teller will move you to a breakout room where you'll be able to speak to the assembly once recognized. If you're on site, come to the side of the general session hall by the entrance and exit doors where you can join a speaking line in person. A teller will let you know where to go and when it's your turn. This year, we're once again using a technique called progressive stack to determine the order of speakers in the pro and con lines. Progressive stack is used to give marginalized groups a greater chance to speak. The first two speaking slots for discussion in both the pro and con lines will be reserved for delegates who identify themselves as Black, Indigenous, people of color, disabled, fat, transgender, non-binary, or holding otherwise marginalized identities. Delegates self-select whether they would like to be added to the progressive stack and must let the tellers know to add them by saying, "I'm progressive stack," when they join the Zoom meeting or get in line in the general session hall. Please note that you do not need to specify which marginalized identity you hold. Preference will be given to those who have not yet spoken on an item. So if you've already spoken, please refrain from joining the line again until all others have had a chance to do so. If you have a question or procedural concern during the discussion, you can go to the information desk instead of the pro or con lines. You get to the information desk the same way you get to the speaking line, by messaging in the Zoom chat or by going to that side of the hall on site. A teller will be at the info desk with our legal counsel and parliamentarian to answer questions from both on-site and online delegates. If your concern affects the whole meeting, the folks at the info desk can quickly pass your feedback to the moderation team so it can be addressed. Please remember to vote after the general session has ended. Ballot results will be posted in the delegate platform and announced at the next general session. Please note that elections for UUA officers and committees are held to a separate ballot linked in the delegate platform. That ballot for all UUA elections opened on June 1st and will close on Saturday, June 21st at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We hope this approach makes it easy for all delegates to meaningfully contribute, regardless of how they're attending GA. If you have questions, you can always email the GA Tech team at gaonlinesupport@uua.org. Once again, thank you for being a part of General Assembly 2025 as we meet the moment by living into our inclusive and democratic process. Presenting the rules of procedure.
Our first item of business is to adopt the rules of procedure. The rules of procedure are found on pages 80 to 84 of your program book. As was noted, no proposed amendments were submitted for the rules of procedure, so you are voting on the rules as they were originally proposed by your board of directors. John Simmons, the UUA secretary, is recognized.
Hello, everyone. My name is John Simmons, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a member of Murray Unitarian Universalist Church in Attleboro, Massachusetts. I'm a Black man with gray hair on the sides, wearing brown-rimmed eyeglasses and a green shirt. As we did last year, we are using digital ballots for our voting. And if it is on the agenda, it does not require a motion or a second.
The motion to adopt the rules is not debatable. Your ballot will be available at the end of this session. We will be voting on a motion to adopt the rules. Please vote yes if you are in favor of adopting the rules. Vote no if you are opposed to these rules. You may also abstain. A 2/3 vote is required for this motion to pass. The ballot will open once this general session has ended and remain open until 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, and 6 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Once the voting is complete, we'll validate the results. After that, we will post them on the delegate platform and also announce them at the beginning of General Session 2 tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, and 10 a.m. Pacific. One more note. If the rules of procedure are adopted, we will have a consent agenda on tomorrow's agenda. It will contain one item, a bylaw amendment to clean up and make some technical changes. The consent agenda allows us to approve a non-controversial item without having any debate or discussion. As in previous years, you can object to the use of the consent agenda, and beginning around 9 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, on the delegate platform, there will be a place for you to indicate your objection to the consent agenda. That will be available from 9 a.m. to 12:30 Eastern Time. If at least 100 delegates object, we will remove the consent agenda and discuss the amendment in a later session. And now it's time for some introductions. Here are a couple of short videos which will tell you more about our youth and emerging adult communities, as well as our care teams.
Introductions: Youth and Emerging Adult Communities, GA Care Teams.
My name is Shannon Harper. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a Black biracial person with light brown skin and short curly black hair. Today I am wearing a blue denim top with dangly wood earrings and gold nose ring. I'm in my home office with a bookshelf and plants behind me. I am the co-director of Lifespan Faith Engagement at the UUA, responsible for coordinating LFE offerings at GA. If you've been to previous GAs, you may notice some changes and new ways we're supporting youth and emerging adults here in Baltimore. We believe that young people should be integrated and integral in the life of our UU congregations and communities, that leadership, care, and creativity in youth and emerging adult spaces should be shared, and that it's the responsibility of the entire assembly to engage and center young people in our faith. To meet this moment, the Lifespan Faith Engagement Office is excited to have a slate of options available for our youth, ages 14 to 18, emerging adults, ages approximately 18 to 24, and all attendees of General Assembly to participate in. We have dedicated spaces for youth and emerging adults to gather in community. Activities in these rooms, as well as online, are organized by volunteer community guides with support from UUA Youth and Emerging Adult Ministry staff. Please check the program or HUVA for locations and details. In addition to these designated spaces, we also have designated chaplains who can provide pastoral care for youth and emerging adults in person and online. We invite all ages to engage around YEA ministry and multi-generational faith engagement through WAVE cohorts, Deeper Joy pop-ups, and whole church engagement area. The National Emerging Adult Task Force will be leading a WAVE cohort discussion about the experiences of emerging adults in Unitarian Universalism. And UUA youth staff will facilitate a WAVE cohort conversation about youth needs today and a faith guided by youth into the future. Deeper Joy is a compendium of games, activities, songs, and practices for building radically inclusive, accessible, multi-generational spiritual communities. The resources are available on UUA.org, and we'll be practicing some of them around GA. Please join in. And check out the whole church engagement area in the back of the main hall. It's a welcoming space for families and all ages, staffed by a volunteer team where you can play, rest, enjoy whole church RE activities, and take home info for churches.
Introduction to General Assembly 2025 Care Teams. Hello, welcome to GA. The volunteer care teams are here to help you have a positive experience. Many volunteers are here to help you during GA across a range of different areas of focus. GA care teams include chaplains, the Covenant team, the safety team, accessibility and inclusion, systemic justice, and our app and chat moderators. Not sure who to approach? Start with GA Chaplains for Pastoral Care, or if you aren't sure which team to ask for help. Reach out to the Covenant team if you feel there's been a break in our event Covenant and need help seeking repair. The safety team is engaged when there is a risk of harm which requires intervention or response. If you need accommodation to more fully participate, the accessibility and inclusion team is here to assist. If you observe that something is happening that should be structurally changed for future GAs, the Systemic Justice Team will record your experience and work with the UUA and our stakeholders to address the issue. Chaplains are available to GA registrants who are experiencing spiritual or physical crisis during GA.
Hi there. I'm the Reverend Dr. Rodney Limry, and I'm so honored and excited to join this year's General Assembly Chaplain Team. For the last 5 years, I've been serving as the Associate Minister at Mount Diablo Unitarian Universalist Church in Walnut Creek, California. Before that, I poured my heart into prison and jail ministry, where I had the privilege of being a chaplain for both those who were incarcerated as well as individuals working within those broken and flawed systems. The GA chaplains are here for you. We understand that even in the midst of all the excitement and inspiration found at our General Assemblies, life keeps moving, sometimes bringing overwhelming moments, personal struggles, or just a need for someone to listen. Whether you are grappling with a spiritual question, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, or simply need a moment to catch your breath, our team is here for you. Throughout General Assembly hours, our team is ready to provide that compassionate presence you may be looking for. We'll listen, we'll support you, and if needed, we'll help connect you to ongoing care. Always remember, in this cherished community, you are never alone. If you need us, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here holding space for you with open hearts and minds. Welcome to GA. I hope your time here is filled with connection, growth, and the warmth of shared purpose.
In order to create an inclusive environment for all participants, we kindly ask that in-person participants refrain from wearing any fragrances during the event. Our commitment to covenantal practices helps us navigate complex conversations with grace and understanding. The Covenant team addresses interpersonal issues that result when words and actions explicitly violate covenant, assists registrants who are in conflict and/or whose actions violate the GA covenant, and provides a process for positive confrontation through mediated conversations.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kim Diana Connolly, and I am the co-lead of the Covenant team at GA this year. I am a white woman with brown hair. I'm wearing a white shirt, a chalice necklace, my glasses, and red lipstick, and I use she, they pronouns.
And I am Reverend Marguerite Belizaire, the other half of the GA Covenant team. And I am a dark-skinned Black woman with grayish hair, lots of gray. And I am wearing a white top, a necklace, and some semi-large earrings. I use she, her, hers pronouns.
We wanted to share with you a little about the Covenant team and the guiding spirit behind the GA Covenant and our work as a team.
We gather at GA to build relationships and a beloved community.
We have a great team to assist all of us in holding covenant.
All voices matter. Inclusion is central.
We stay aware of power dynamics and support growth.
Our GA covenant fosters respectful, thoughtful dialogue.
Imperfection is human, and commitment helps us engage with grace. Our final words as we're opening is we want you to center love and stay connected.
During GA, if you experience or witness harm, contact a chaplain or the Covenant team. Resources available through the GA app or on-site info desk. Remember, let love be our guide in speech, in silence, and in action.
Let us cultivate a culture of compassion and self-care as we engage in the work of building a more inclusive and equitable beloved community. Gathered together for this General Assembly, we are going above and beyond available health and safety guidance out of a depth of care for those most impacted by a variety of acute health risks. While we are masking this year at official indoor GA events, we want to highlight that vaccines remain the most important and effective measure for reducing transmission and the long-term impact of COVID-19, as well as the range of other highly communicable diseases. As ever, air quality and circulation are essential for lowering the risks of spread of every airborne infectious disease. The Baltimore Convention Center utilizes hospital-grade air filtration systems, rapid air exchange, and continuous monitoring to ensure a healthy environment for everyone in the building. Conducting testing in advance and encouraging anyone with symptoms to opt out of group events is another critical tool to reduce risks of infection. So please, if you're feeling unwell, consider our high-quality multi-platform option for participation, even as we opt in to a deeper level of care for one another by masking at indoor GA events. The safety team acts as a liaison between convention center security, police, and GA attendees, representing the best interest of our community. If there is an incident or situation involving medical emergency, law enforcement, or convention center staff, our safety team is prepared to assist with communications and coordination. The safety team may attend to both medical and emotional crises, interacting with outside agencies, including private security, public safety or police officers, and others to safeguard in-person event participants.
Hi, my name is Chloe Meyer. I am one of the co-leads of safety team. I am a young white woman with brown curly hair pulled back in a bun. My blouse is black with dark blue flowers. My background is a light blue wavy pattern. We have an amazing team of volunteers here to help throughout your experience this week.
I am the other co-lead of the safety team. My name is Michael Solwasser. I am a white man in my 70s, wearing glasses with thick, dark green rims. My dark brown hair is pulled back into a ponytail, and I have wispy gray hair in my sideburns and eyebrows. I am clean shaven and have a small gold hoop earring in my left ear. My open collared shirt is gray stripes in a vertical pattern.
We serve by anticipating and responding to harm or the possibility of foreseeable harm.
If security or first responders are engaging or responding to situations involving GA attendees, the safety team will act as a liaison to assure that the best interests of General Assembly participants are respected and their needs appropriately addressed.
You will be able to identify us by the bright orange stoles we will wear while on duty.
If you need assistance from another care team, but a safety team member is the first person you see, let us know and we will assist you in contacting the appropriate care team member.
We are here to make your GA experience the best it can be.
Thank you for letting us serve you in that role.
Please allow those who use scooters and wheelchairs the time and space they need to enter and exit event spaces. We are committed to making every effort to provide accommodations and/or assistive equipment that will enhance your GA experience. Page magnifiers, noise-reducing headphones, and other assistive equipment is available to borrow from the Accessibility Service Desk. The accessibility team assists GA registrants with questions or concerns around accessibility and inclusion. The team strives to make GA accessible by assisting in providing accommodations for all participants.
Well, hello, I'm Rosemarie Rossetti, your lead accessibility consultant for the General Assembly. I'm speaking to you from my home, Columbus, Ohio, from my wheelchair. I'm a white woman. I'm in my early 70s. I have short brown hair and I'm wearing glasses. My pronouns are she and her. I want to work with all the participants to make sure that all of you are accommodated that need special accommodations due to your disability. So if you need some special equipment, you need some directions of how to get to the accessible restroom, or if you have a service dog and you want to find the relief station, or if you just need a quiet space, we'll find that room for you. We have also some special seating arrangements so that anyone who needs to sit up front or people who are using a scooter or a wheelchair like I'll be using has a place to park. And if you want to transfer from that vehicle to a regular seat, we have accommodations for you. So we do have a accessibility service desk. We have lots of people that are volunteering to be at that desk so that when you have a question or a need or a concern, or you want to praise us and give us some positive feedback, we're open to having that conversation too. But we've taken great strides. I was in Baltimore in December reviewing the convention center and the hotels that you'll be staying in. So there's a lot of activity behind the scenes, a lot of planning that went into place, and a lot of people that really have passion to make sure accessibility and inclusion is top of mind. I hope you have a great General Assembly. Stop by the desk. If you see me in my scooter or wheelchair, please say hello. Bye now.
Please do not write on anything that is not yours. Seats are reserved for those who are present and need them, not for individuals. Ushers can help locate accessible seating and cutouts for scooters and wheelchairs. Seating, equipment, and signs have been positioned to serve attendees best. Please do not rearrange or move seating or equipment or write on reserved seating or directional signs. The Systemic Justice Team assists GA registrants from currently and/or historically marginalized communities in creating structural change by providing access and advocacy to challenge and change oppressive structures and/or systems. The app moderators welcome attendees to the spaces for networking and connection in the Whova Events app. App moderators will be participating in community discussion boards, answering questions, and reminding participants to respect boundaries and remain in covenant. Volunteer chat hosts will be present in delegate chat spaces to monitor chat and answer questions about business procedures. How to find care teams during GA. Care teams are available in room 331 of the Convention Center from 4 to 7 on Wednesday, 10:30 to 6:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and 10:30 to 4:30 on Sunday. If you see GA volunteers in care team stalls, please say hello.
Volunteers with purple stoles are chaplains. Those with blue stoles are on the Covenant team, and the safety team have orange stoles.
Visit uua.org/GA/help for email addresses and the support team's voicemail line. Have a great GA.
Closing words.
My name is Reverend Sam Trumbore. I use he, him pronouns and serve as your representative on the UUA's Board of Trustees. I have gray and short hair, am clean shaven, wear glasses, and am wearing a dark suit with a tie. As we celebrate the 200th anniversary of the American Unitarian Association here in Baltimore, where the Reverend Dr. William Ellery Channing defined us with his sermon titled Unitarian Christianity, may we re-experience the excitement of that defining moment in our history. May this 2025 General Assembly also be a defining moment for us to appreciate old ways and discover new ways to revitalize and reimagine Unitarian Universalism for the next 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, and maybe even 200 years and more.
Announcements and recess.
Today's ballot is available on the delegate platform. It includes the rules of procedure. The ballot will be available until 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Mountain, 6 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. Once voting is complete, we'll validate the results and post them on the delegate platform. We will also announce them at the beginning of General Session 2. The Green Team asked me to share the following announcement. GA is seeking to be a zero waste event, and we need your help to reach our goal. Throughout the convention center and expo hall, you will see waste stations with bins for recycling, compost, and landfill. Please refer to the signs posted on these bins to sort your waste materials correctly. Volunteers from the GA Green Team will be roving throughout the event to help sort waste and answer questions. We also encourage you to carry a refillable water bottle and reusable coffee mug with you throughout GA to reduce waste. Thank you for co-creating a sustainable GA with us. The Supreme Court returned a decision today in the United States versus Skermeti that has painful and powerful implications for trans youth and families. Tomorrow, we're adding an important GA program featuring civil rights lawyer Sam Ames and UUA General Counsel Adrian Walker. Skermeti case, information, misinformation, and implications will take place at noon tomorrow in Ballroom 1 and 2, immediately before Building Trans Justice, Safety, and Belonging. There being no further business to come before us, and in accordance with the schedule set forth in your program books, I declare that this first general session of General Assembly 2025 shall remain in recess until 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central, 11 a.m. Mountain, 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. I hope you will enjoy some time this evening in the exhibit hall. Bam, bam, bam.